Yes.
Oh, just yeah.
Right.
Good idea.
Good afternoon, everyone. Afternoon. Call the meeting to order, the regular meeting of Monday, May 6th, 2024 at 5:30. John, would you call the roll, please?
Adel,
Here.
Anderson,
Here.
Avadesian,
Here.
Lozano,
Here.
Yule, Bush, Clark, Desai,
Here.
DeBella,
Here.
Drake,
Here.
Gale, Gardeau,
Here.
Gentile, Healy, Hoffman, Oheb,
Here.
Holloway,
Here.
Johnson,
Here.
LaChance,
Here.
Lester, Lewis,
Here.
Magnan, Mandyke,
Here.
Maniscalco, Payne, Patel,
Here.
Salemi,
Here.
Stuber,
Here.
Taylor,
Here.
Torres,
Here.
Wolf,
Here.
Carrier. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Next up, we have the approval of meeting minutes of May 6th, 2024 and May 9th, 2024.
Move adoption.
Any additions, deletions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Next, public comments relative to agenda items. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the board?
Hello. Hello.
I hear the voice. Ah, there you are, Alma. Please go ahead.
Okay. Congratulations on opening the Community Outreach Store on Barber Street in North Hartford. This was a big step forward in responsiveness to a previously distressed community. A colleague and I from our organization called Third Act had the pleasure of attending. There was an impressive array of community speakers, including a man who stated he didn't want more, but he didn't want less in water and sewer service than what other people had. There was a real estate agent who felt the housing stock would be improved with the cooperation from MDC. Commissioner Jellison recognized the needs and made a statement that the commission would be an anchor in an area that had had few anchors in the past. The well-attended gathering had many people who seemed optimistic that the community was on an upward track. People were invited to come into the office with their concerns. Congratulations on taking this initiative. The Barber Street office is a sign of interest and commitment to community development by MDC, the state of Connecticut, and the taxpayers. Thank you for your leadership.
Thank you, Alma. I would like just to say that this part of the public speaking portion is for agenda items only. So in the future, just for agenda items only. At the end, you can speak on any issue you would like.
Definitely, thank you.
Yes. Report from the district chairman. I have nothing to report. Report from the CEO.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So my first item I will not discuss because Mrs. Elder already talked about it. So we had a great ribbon cutting on May 15th, and it was a wonderful event to be part of. Number two, we did receive. We've been talking since March. We started talking at the March Board of Finance, I think it was. We had our consultant, Rich Costello, on the line, and we talked about the concerns. There were lots of concerns about electricity rates. We just received our bids in on Friday. and we secured them. We've only seen about a little over a 10% increase. So that's a very positive thing for the MDC. We locked in for 3 years. And on the gas consumption, natural gas consumption, we had a decrease, an actual decrease of about 9%. So overall, very, very positive. Locked in for 3 years for both of those with NRG, which is the same energy firm. So it's a very positive thing for us. I did mention that we were planning to meet, myself and the other CEOs for the three other large water utilities, Regional Water, Connecticut Water, and APPROPRIATIon with the DPH commissioner. We did that on May 8th. And we had a lot of discussions about PFAS and, interconnections and the lead and copper rule. And without getting into the details, it was very positive. One thing that we did ask and hope for was that if they are going to be imposing solutions to PFAS, that they also have to consider imposing and providing grants for interconnections for the Portlands of the world, the East Grammys of the world, the Glastonburys of the world. We just received a letter. We'll be bringing this to Water Bureau for Cromwell is requesting water. They're looking for an emergency connection. And also we have a request from Manchester looking for a connection, because they do have PFAS in their wells, not in their reservoir, but in their well. May 9th, we did the presentation with the towns on the regionalism of stormwater authority, and we're going to be following up with the town engineering departments to try and further that discussion along. We have had some great movement and developments. We just met with it's 55 Elm, which is the old Attorney General's office, but behind that general area is 65 Elm. So there's 150 some odd apartments. They're planning to actually start in the fourth quarter of 2024. And we're also in conversations with the whole group as it relates to the Bushnell South project on Capitol, which so a lot of financing issues are going on, and we're very hopeful that this is going to move forward here in the city. We're hopeful that we'll see a lot of increased revenue from drinking water due to the apartments. Last item is very important. We've talked about this a lot. I got to give credit to Chris Stone and Brendan Fox working with us with the legislature this past session. We've been trying ever since we canceled our agreement with the Army Corps in January of 2020. We have only been releasing water that's ours, and that's required under the statute. So there's been lots of complaints over the last 3 summers about water flow in the river as it relates to recreation or fishing. And we finally have an agreement between ourselves and the Army Corps in the interim of hoping for a water bill that will solve our legal problems with the Army Corps, that at least will allow for the Commissioner of Deep, to request releases from the Army Corps. So I have sent a letter. You all received a copy of it. I've sent a letter to the Commissioner of Deep, letting her know that she's able to request those, and we have no concerns regarding those requests. So that's my report.
Thanks,
Chairman.
Any question?
Scott, what's that do to the Army Corps issue with the feds? We still need a bill?
Yeah, I'll probably let Chris Stone answer that.
Yeah, that's part of my report.
Why don't we move on to
Be ready.
council report?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chris Stone, just picking up on Commissioner DeBella's question regarding really the status of the big picture, right? We have a resolution, at least a temporary resolution on the flows into the Farmington River from that particular water area. I call it the water storage area. It's not really a water supply because sometimes there's no water there at all, but from that storage area, we're still working in Washington. They're marking up, the House and Senate are marking up the next water bill, which is the actual bill. They anticipate being brought forward in August, September of this year. They go through a markup in committee. The House committee that has jurisdiction has provided, has added an amendment which addresses our issue with Colebrook and the Army Corps of Engineer. We hope to have either a same or similar amendment to be added to the Senate version of the worded bill. To the extent there's a conflict between those two amendments, there'd have to be a conference committee, and hopefully if there is a conflict, they'll work that out. But so far, we're, I guess for lack of a better term, we're halfway there through Congress, which is good news. The second thing I want to report on is this Friday, we have a hearing before the State Claims Commissioner on the second of our three claims against the state on the landfill discharge fee. Hopefully the result that we received on the first will be repeated in the second, and then the third will be the Buckingham Garage, which is somewhat different than the other two, but that'll come down the pike hopefully shortly thereafter. But that's my report. Be happy to answer any questions on these matters or anything.
Mr. DeBella?
Chris, is the third one the garage?
The third one is the Buckingham Street Garage.
And is that before the Claims Commissioner?
It's in his office.
In his office, so that it's assigned then for hearing.
It hasn't been assigned for a hearing. He has retained jurisdiction. He has some time to, I think, another 9 to 12 months to make a decision or have a hearing. If he doesn't, then it's referred to the legislature for them to either act or send it back with an extension. I will tell you that this particular claims commissioner has taken an active role, and not commenting on any prior claims commissioners, but he's taken an active role on seeing that the backlog within that office, not because of anyone's fault, but because of the number of claims that have been filed over the past 5 to 10 years. But he's taken an active role in making sure that that backlog is addressed, attacked, and reduced significantly. For example, the first claim that we brought was handled by a temporary deputy claims commissioner appointed through a legislative act to address the backlog. He is not relying solely upon those temporary deputies, but actually taking cases on himself, and he will be the hearing officer this Friday.
Any other question? Thank you, Chris. Okay, moving on to number 9, Board of Finance, consideration of potential action, 2.6 million appropriation for the installation of storm sewers for public storm sewer service within the district's combined sewer service area in the vicinity of Arrowhead, Flatiron developments in Hartford, and authorizing the issuance of 2.6 million of bonds or notes of the district to meet said appropriation. For purpose of a motion, I'll recognize Chair of Finance, Commissioner Salemi. Commissioner Salemi. Motion, please.
Mr. Chairman, this was, I believe this before, at the last Board of Finance meeting, and I believe this passed unanimously, so I would offer a motion to adopt the resolution.
Second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. Next, consideration potential action on the amendment of 3 job specifications: Assistant Manager of Building Analysis, Manager of Treasury, and Controller. And for purpose of a motion, I'll recognize Chair of PPI, Al Taylor.
Mr. Chairman, this was approved unanimously at the PPI, and I move the adoption.
And could I ask us to make a motion? Would you, without objection, make a motion to approve all 3?
Yes, I move that we approve each of the 3 job categories listed there in 10A.
Was there a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, 10B, recommendation again is for New job specifications, Assistant Manager of Treasury, Assistant Controller, and Human Resources Program Manager. And again, for purposes of a motion to, without objection to approve all three, I'll recognize Commissioner Taylor.
Yes, through you, Mr. Chairman. Each of the three job specifications was approved unanimously at the PP&I meeting that's held. I would move that we approve all three as indicated.
There a second?
Okay.
Discussion? I would just like to say to Jamie and your staff that you did a really, really good job in creating the new ones and going back to revising some of the current ones. So thank you for that. All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda, opportunity for general public comments. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the board? Commissioner requests for future agenda items. With that, we've completed the agenda and I'll declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you.